Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Is Dr. Bashar Wilson with New York Sports Acupuncture. Welcome back. Today, we are going to be discussing sports medicine, acupuncture versus NSAIDs, your over the counter drugs, and other therapies, and how they all stack up and compare. No, folks, this time of the year in the winter, a lot of times the aches and pains come out, the back pain and the neck pain and the knee pain. Some people, they can tell when it's going to snow or when it's going to rain because their knees start to hurt some. And so, people are looking for different therapies. Oftentimes, if you go to the medical doctor and your pain relief specialist, pain relief in Western medicine, or pain management, I should say, in Western medicine is usually some sort of pharmaceutical drug. Um, or, if you're working to treat yourself at home, you may take something in NSAID, NSAID, non steroidal anti inflammatory drugs, your things like Tylenol, aspirin, Motrin, ibuprofen, all of these sort of things to relieve pain. And in like the spirit of kind of what's going on these days, people are looking for alternative ways to address these health conditions and ways that they can, bring some relief to it that's long lasting and won't have the side effects on the body. Like again, with the pain management drugs, until a few years ago, and even still today, a lot of the drugs were, drugs that were highly addictive, with the opioid crisis. And so, nobody wants to be, addicted to opioids. Sometimes it can have you really tired, nodding off, even feeling uncomfortable, unable to drive, foggy headed, and just not fully in one's body. But people do that because they're in a lot of pain and they'd rather feel the other way than feel the constant aches and pain. Pain can be very depressing on the body, especially when you're used to being active. um, can feel almost like an alien inside your own body when you're in like chronic pain. If somebody has pain, they wake up in the morning and have pain, or some people wake up feeling all right. And then as the day goes along, the pain gets worse. So these are common things that I see in my office. And so with the opioid crisis, also, the US government was looking for alternatives to that because a lot of folks all over all walks of life were being addicted. We saw years ago Rush Limbaugh, and then people's their children, parents, elders were all addicted to these opioid drugs. The opioid drugs were also creeping into the streets where people were buying pills because they wanted to just feel like that kind of high and things like that. And so that was just a crisis all around. So there were studies that came out years ago with the American College of Physicians and also the Joint Commission that runs and regulates all of the hospitals in the US. They were looking for non pharmacological and non surgical alternatives for the opioids. And guess what? One of the main things for that was actually acupuncture. Also, something dealing with a lot of veterans out here. There's very high levels of addiction to the opioid drugs with veterans. And of course, a lot of them are dealing with depression from being in the military. Some of them were actually in wars, whether you're talking going all the way back to Vietnam to um, things in the Middle East in the 80s and the 90s, all the way to the present, and dealing with pain. A lot of veterans are also dealing with neck and chronic low back pain. And with the VA, the Veterans Administration, they're very friendly with acupuncture. So if you're a veteran out here, you can actually go to your local VA and you can have acupuncture prescribed for your pain, and the Veterans Administration will pay for it. And I'm actually in network with the VA. So if you're a veteran and you know any veterans that are in pain or also, would like to receive acupuncture, um, send me a DM and we can discuss that more. So going to the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, or commonly called your NSAIDs, again, your over-the-counter drugs, your Tylenol, aspirin, ibuprofen, Motrin, and things like that. Some people take these like every day, but like any other pharmaceutical drug, even though it's over the counter, long term use can have different effects. So, with your non steroidal, your NSAIDs, some of the most common issues that come with that are like digestive issues. So, folks can get things like indigestion, bloating, gas, diarrhea, even in extreme cases like abdominal, like bleeding, like gastrointestinal bleeding, things like that. Um, it can also affect like the kidney health and lead to like kidney damage, and even in some cases, even lead to liver damage. Like most folks know, if people take a baby aspirin, if people take aspirin too often in like your standard doses, it can cause stomach bleeding. And so, I know you're looking for different things that you can do. And that's where Eastern medicine, acupuncture, and in particular, the style of acupuncture that I practice is called sports medicine acupuncture. So when we're looking at acupuncture, we're looking at the flow of your body's chi and blood. Your chi is your vital energy, and your blood is your blood, but it also even has some other qualities in the body in terms of like with Eastern medicine. And so your chi is that active force, that vital energy. And so your chi has to be circulating well, because that's like what's pushing your blood through the body. And your blood has to be substantial, because the chi, which is like non-formed, needs the blood as like a form to be able to activate and push the blood through the body. So they work together. If you kind of think about it, similar to like your body and your soul, or your body and your spirit. Your body is your physical flesh, but it needs your soul or your spirit to animate it and keep it alive. So you can keep it, you can think about it in that way. And that chi, that vital life force, is circulating all through our bodies. With acupuncture, we have 12 main, or really 14 main meridians, with 12 meridians that relate to different organ systems of the body. The chi flows from your chest down to your hands to your face down to your feet, back up to your chest, and it's circulating even down like the sides of your body, down the back of your body, and it's a constant circulation. And so, where the chi or the blood isn't flowing, that's where we experience pain. So, if there's like chi stagnation or lack of blood of chi flow to a certain area, that's where you'll see more of like dull pains. So, if I ask you, does it hurt? You say, yeah, it kind of hurts in this like general area. Like you would kind of like just rub your whole shoulder or your whole neck. That's more of like a chi stagnation, versus blood stagnation is like it hurts right here. And if I press on it, it's going to hurt. Or where with a chi stagnation, if I massage, it's like, yeah, I feel that, but it actually feels kind of good with massage. Versus blood stagnation, if I put more pressure on it, that blood that's kind of, not gonna say as far as congealed in that area, but the blood that's kind of stuck in that area, I'm adding more pressure to it. And we don't want that. You can think of it like rush hour traffic. We don't want to add any more cars or anything to rush hour traffic on a highway, and definitely not on a train. You ride the train early morning, that door opens and somebody running late for work and they trying to squeeze into the car, and it's like, yo, what are you doing? So I don't want to press on that, because I don't want to be that person coming into the car. I wait for the next train. So um yeah, so the chi and blood is circulating through the body, and we use the acupuncture to assist with the flow of the body's chi and blood. So I may go directly in the area where there's pain, and also, I'll do areas that are further away from the body to get that cross draft, that cross flow. So you can think about it like opening the windows in your house, to get that cross draft, to get that, if the house has that stale air, you open the windows on both sides of the house and it gets that air circulation. And now with that fresh air, the house is better in terms of getting that stale air out. And you can think about it in that way, where if the chi and blood is stagnant, we have to get that cross flow. So we want that chi to be moving through the meridian. So if somebody has like a headache, there are points in the hand. A lot of people know this particular point on the hand, like in between the thumb. This point right here, if you find like the high point and you press in that right now, it might feel a little dull and achy. You hold that for about 30 seconds to a minute. That will actually help to relieve any sort of pain in the body, even if it's, briefly for an hour or two. And so that's something that you can do at different times. And that will also, like I say, help to relieve pain in the body. So again, acupuncture deals with the flow of chi and blood all throughout the body. When we think about acupuncture from a Western standpoint, in terms of like your basic anatomy and physiology, with sports medicine acupuncture, we're dealing with the muscles, we're dealing with the joints, we're dealing with the nerves, we're dealing with even the bones and how all of that is related, and even the fascia, which is like the almost like the skin or the bag that your muscle sits in. If you ever clean chicken or something like that, you have to peel that film off of it. That's the fascia, and that fascia not only goes around each of our muscles, the fascia in little small ways is going all through the muscles like a net. And even with acupuncture is working with that net of fascia that's going all through the body and communicating with the body in all areas. So again, this point on your hand can affect headaches. A lot of people are familiar with this point here. If you ever had like motion sickness, they have those bands that have the bead on it, and it actually presses on this point, and that's actually an acupressure point or acupuncture point that we use to help to regulate digestion. And so with acupuncture, again, from like a anatomical and physiological level, when I'm doing acupuncture, say on a muscle, the muscles can knot up. And one of the things that acupuncture does is it helps to release that knot. Like if you have a knot in your muscle, the muscle's supposed to be smooth. The muscle's supposed to be smooth, all of the fibers going in the same direction. But if you feel a knot, that's like a bump in the road. Think about driving over, a bump or a pothole in the streets. We don't want that in our body. We want everything to be smooth and flowing. And so the acupuncture will help to relieve those spasms. Acupuncture also causes the body to relieve different endorphins. Like we talked about the opioids with the opioid crisis and pain relieving drugs. Acupuncture actually causes your body to release your own um, your own internal um, endorphins, your own pain relieving drugs, your own pain relieving biochemicals, where these biochemicals are actually like produced artificially in a factory, but you have your own. And these things are of course, your body's going to release what it has to. Your body releases some endorphins that last like a short period of time for like acute, immediate pain, and also endorphins that help to have like long term function. And we stimulate that with acupuncture and also with electric stimulation that we do on the acupuncture needle that causes the muscles to contract and relax. We've all seen the TENS machine where they put the pad on the skin and it causes the skin to vibrate. With the electric stimulation, I'm actually attaching clips to the needle, and the needle is in the muscle, and it actually is pushing it's pardon my mind, pushing, I'll just use that word right now, the electricity through the needle, circulating the electricity through the needle deep into the muscle, all the way down to the level, because there are muscles on the surface and there are deep muscles in the body that could be in spasm, especially like in the lower back, and causes those muscles to contract and relax to relieve spasm. And when that spasm is released, the body will rebalance itself and help to, feel better and be out of pain. Again, with the natural endorphins that are released with acupuncture and electric stimulation acupuncture with causing pain, that's also going to help to relax the mind and relieve the mind, because with pain almost like sends the body into like a fight or flight sort of state. And when we're in fight or flight, we're in survival mode. And when we're in survival mode, the body is not working to heal. And that can go on any sort of way, but we're talking about pain for now. And so, with the relaxing of the mind, the body is then able to go in this rest and relax mode. And in that rest and relax mode, that's where the healing occurs. Oftentimes, I would say 80, 90% of my clients, when we're doing acupuncture with the electric stimulation, I also use infrared heat. That also helps with the blood circulation and helps to warm the muscle. During an acupuncture treatment, you'll probably fall asleep the whole time and really get some of the best sleep with the acupuncture, the muscles contracting, relaxing, the heat. And when you're in that sleeping state, that's when the body is also in that resting state. That's when the body is able to heal on a deep, deep level and actually have long term healing. One of the things that goes on with acupuncture too is that it's actually helping the body to recover. So, say like a course of acupuncture treatments, um, like a treatment plan may include like 10 to 12 visits. That's like a standard treatment plan. Within that time, with acute conditions, you'll often feel better. With chronic conditions, you may need more, but with all of the things we're doing, like I said, the acupuncture with the electric stimulation, the heat, I'm doing some massage, with some medicated oils and things, different exercises you do at home, you'll get results relatively quickly, especially considering the time that you've been in pain. If it's been years, if you're feeling better within a week or two or three, so to get back, so with a course of treatment, if we check back on you when you're feeling better in 5, 6 months, or even a year, oftentimes you'll still be feeling better. Or if the pain comes back, it won't come back to the same way that it was before. So if somebody comes in at a 7 or 8 in pain, or even a 6 in pain, we'll get that down to a 2, 3. If we check on you in a couple months, it might still be at a 2 or 3 or 4, but it's something that you'll be able to manage on your own with lifestyle. And then you may come in later on for another course of treatment. A great thing that's going on now, especially like I say, with the US implementing and recommending acupuncture as a non-pharmacological and non-surgical treatment for pain and injury, a lot more insurance companies are actually covering acupuncture. So me, I'm in network with Aetna, with United Healthcare, with Cigna. A lot of Blue Cross Blue Shield plans cover acupuncture. Also, I work with the VA, the Veterans Administration, and some other insurance companies actually cover for acupuncture. I'm surprised, like most people's insurance covers acupuncture. You may have like a deductible or a copay, but people are usually covered from anywhere between 10 to like 30 visits or even unlimited visits a year. So, yeah, so you can send me a DM with that. So, yeah, let's see. We have any comments? I know I've been talking a bunch. Thank you for tuning in. So I didn't say that before, but if you have any comments on Instagram or wherever you're watching this from, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, put a comment in the comment section, and I should be able to see that on Instagram in the chat and other platforms. I can actually bring that on the screen. You can follow me on all platforms at Dr. Bashar Wilson. If you're on Instagram, you can actually catch the replay to this on YouTube. Follow me on Dr. Bashar Wilson on YouTube. I've been going live weekly, and all of the older past videos are on there. And, we've been going in on a lot of different topics. So thanks for my folks that tune in every week with that. You can also catch me at New York Sports Acupuncture.com. That's or nysportsacu.com. That's my website. You can book an appointment right from there. You can also contact me from there if you have insurance. Under the patient forms, there's a place where you can actually just input your insurance information, and I'll get that from there, and I can actually just check your insurance and verify your benefits and get back to you and see what's going on there, and maybe we can start a treatment plan right through your insurance, which would be excellent. I do, of course, accept cash patients. My office is in Brooklyn, New York. I'm right on the Bed-Stuy Bushwick border. The big beginning of Bed-Stuy near Woodhull Hospital for folks taking the train. It's the J train to Flushing, and like the 15 bus and the 43 bus, and I think the 46 comes over here too. Right off of, not far off the Williamsburg Bridge if you're coming in from Queens or Uptown or Jersey or somewhere like that. So you can also give me a call at 888-375-5444, and that's my answering service. You can leave a message there anytime, and my assistant there will take a message and get back to me, and I'll get back to you, I should say, as soon as possible, and we can go ahead and discuss your health goals. I'm available for free eliminate pain and get back on the field evaluation, where we can discuss your health concerns, your health goals, and begin to create a treatment plan to get you out of pain once and for all. Okay, we have a comment. Stephanie Arit Walcott. Peace, Arit. Thanks for tuning in. United Healthcare Advantage Medicare. So with Medicare is changing, is kind of weird. Like acupuncture is regulated from state to state, and is actually not regulated on a federal level. And Medicare is actually a federal program. They're starting to cover acupuncture more just for low back pain, but they're not paying us directly. So I have to work with a medical doctor in order to do that. And so I'm working on getting some folks that I can work with that are pretty much just signing off on it. I don't need necessarily a referral from them, but they have to like sign off from the paperwork, just some bureaucratic stuff. So, but we're working hard as a profession to get that changed so that people can pay us, so that we can get paid directly from the federal government. Thank you for that question. Let's see. All right. I'll get to your question in a second, Jason. So I can also be reached at manifestherbs.com. That's my website. Herbs is actually what brought me into this medicine. And we have a lot of different herbs also that can help bring pain relief. On this website, I have like a joint care formula and all sorts of things, colon cleanse, but I have a joint care formula. If you give me a call directly, I also have some external things in terms of some different medicated oils with herbs, herbally medicated massage oils and liniments and soaks and patches and all sorts of things that naturally that you can rub into your joints and your muscles that absorb through the skin and help with the circulation to relieve pain. So, yes, so my man Jason, plant based for you, peace chess. Actually, I saw you called earlier. My bad. I was working with patients. We can maybe talk later or afterwards. But he asks, are there any acupuncture remedies for dental? Um, I'll tell you a funny, I'll tell you a funny story with that. Well, just to answer this point right here can help. Sometimes we actually use we do laser acupuncture where we use like a a cold laser, which is like infrared, but it's not burning or anything like that. And they're lasers that can actually be put like right on the jaw where there's pain. Some things with that we might want to address that herbally. Well, one, just of course, the dentist first and foremost, but there's certain things herbally that can help with the blood circulation. There are herbal mouthwashes and things you can do. But I was laughing before because years ago, I had to get a root canal done. And this is maybe like 20 something years ago. And I was on my supernatural, still natural, of course, but I was on like my supernatural. I don't want any of that. So, my dentist, my orthodontist, or the oral surgeon, whatever, he was like, I'm gonna write you this subscription, this prescription for this painkiller drug. So I was like, what is it, doc? And he was like, oh, it was probably, it was like an opioid drug actually. And I was like, I don't want no fake morphine. He's like, it's like morphine. I was like, I don't want that. He was like, yeah, kind of have you make you feel good, ooh. I was like, I don't want to feel like that. So he was like, trust me, I cut into your jaw to the bone. When this painkiller wears off, you're gonna be in pain. You're gonna want that. And plus, if somebody breaks a bone or something like that, you'll have it in the cabinet because this stuff is really hard to come by. So he was like, it's only like $5, $10, wrote me the prescription. I ignored it, went home, got on the train, got on the train, went home. And so was feeling still a little woozy. My mouth was all swollen still. So I took a nap. And when I woke up, that pain that he said was kicking in like crazy. I felt like Mike Tyson was just boxing inside my freaking jaw. And so I actually did some acupuncture. I pulled out my needles. Um, I was in school still, but I had needles. I did some acupuncture on my jaw, on like some points here on my jaw. I did this point in my hand. There's another corresponding point between like the first and the second toe. Twiddled it around a little, and it actually relieved the pain. I took a nap, and when I woke up, the pain was back again. Nothing, I was running all around the house trying to escape the pain and all, but I just went back to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I was feeling, better. My jaw was a little numb, but it definitely didn't have that sharp pain. So, this point again, that you press on your hand, that can be really good for this point here between your thumb. If you squeeze your finger together and like the high point forms like almost like a hill, if you press in that high point, you'll feel like a tendon, like a numbness there. Hold that for like about 2 minutes or so, and hopefully that can bring some relief. So, yeah, hopefully kind of explained how sports medicine acupuncture works. And, you know, check out my website, check out my other videos, like I said, on YouTube, again at Dr. Bashar Wilson on all platforms. I have a lot of and the videos will be in the live. They're in the live tab on YouTube, and I have a whole bunch of stuff on there too. So, yeah, if there aren't any more questions or anything, we are going to say peace, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in.